Okay, thanks for coming back for another video from Shooting It Straight. Cleaning your magazines, what you might not know. Now I realize that there are many videos, already out there regarding this very topic, and that this task seems basic and easy. Well, it really is basic, it's simple, and it's fairly easy. But there are a couple of important things missing in all of those other videos. Now today, we'll focus on how to actually clean the magazines of your EDC in the correct manner. Now I already have a video out that demonstrates the correct way to clean your EDC. And that video is by far the most detailed and accurate video on YouTube regarding the topic of gun cleaning, pistol maintenance. Now this video here is intended to be like an extension of that video. Cleaning your magazines properly is very much like cleaning your EDC properly. That is to say, some minor methods may vary slightly between people, but in the context of correct firearms maintenance, you simply don't get to do whatever makes you happy, okay? Because there is a right way and a wrong way to do some of these things. So, why not just do it the right way the first time? Alright, so let's get started. Now, although I'll be demonstrating with just, one or two types of magazines today, the Glock magazine, because there's a couple of special features on there you need to know about, and the Springfield XD magazines. The basic procedures, though, cleaning procedures, generally apply to all pistol magazines and detachable rifle magazines as well. So it's sort of a universal procedure. Now there are exceptions some places on some things, okay? But in general, it's pretty universal. Naturally, the disassemble methods may vary among the different magazines. You understand that. All right, now we're going to begin disassembly. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to disassemble a Glock magazine. And there are two basic methods. There's more than two methods, but the two most common or basic methods is to use a tool such as this. And it's specifically made for these magazines. Or if you don't have this tool or don't want to use this tool, you can use your Glock punch. And this is how you do that. Now, the Glock magazines, and you're probably familiar with this, have these retention tabs here at the bottom of the magazine body on both sides that fit into a notch on the floor plates to lock it in, more so than just that retentive plate button right there. Okay, so you got that and the ones on the side. This is what most people have a problem with, are these side retention tabs. But that's really not a problem. Some people like to use a tool to squeeze the sides and relieve some of that pressure when sliding the plate off. I don't really like to do that because there's a metal form in there and I don't want to misshape that. So you can just take your Glock punch, your Glock tool, and depress just stick it in right here where the retentive plate is, and I'll show you that when I take it out. This is the stem that's popping up through this hole here. You just want to push that down and go all the way down. All the way down. When you get all the way down, put your thumb here and grab it here to use it as a fulcrum, and just gently pull forward. When you do that, it'll force this plate off, and it'll come out of those notches right here. Just get a good hold of it and just pull it forward. There. Okay. Now remember, this is a spring, so everything's under tension. Keep it away from your face. Don't look at it. Keep it away. That way, if the spring somehow jumps up, your thumb goes off of it or something, and it shoots out, you won't smack yourself in the eyeball. But cover it with your thumb. You can remove this now, and just gently glide that plate forward. It's going to take me a second because I'm older and my medical condition and I'm pretty weak. So you won't have a problem with this, but I struggle with it because I'm weak now. But you understand what I'm saying. Push it forward. Make sure that thumb, there you go. See, it almost got away from me. There's your floor plate. There's that retentive plate. It seats right in here with the stem up. The stem is up because that stem goes through and locks in. Okay. So you've got that. Now you've got your magazine and follower. And it just comes right out. On a Glock, generally your follower will stay with the magazine, spring. It'll stay with it. Doesn't usually fall off or come off. You have to take it off. All right. And I'm going to get to this in just a minute. Get back to it in a minute. But I do want to tell you this while I have this disassembled here. Glock does not want you to disassemble these magazines unless it's absolutely necessary. And the only two reasons why it would be necessary under most conditions is that it is heavily fouled. And by that I mean you've dropped it into a big pile of sand or a big pile of mud or muck or junk or something like that. And it absolutely has to be taken apart to be cleaned out. Or you need to replace the follower or the spring or some other component. Other than that, they don't want you to be taking these things apart. They're not designed for that. They're specifically designed to stay intact. And that's why they have these notches right here, these polymer notches down here on both sides that fit into the floor plate right here. It locks it, it latches it in there. That way when it falls down, falls from a long height, or you fall on top of it, the first thing that happens to a magazine when it hits concrete or asphalt or something from a distance is the base plate will break off or fall apart or come out. And when that happens, everything shoots out. The Glock is designed to prevent that from happening. And if you continue to take this slide plate or this floor plate off and on, you're going to wear those tabs down right there, and then it's not going to be able to lock. That floor plate's not going to be able to lock on like it's designed to. Okay, and it's going to lose some of its security that way. Now other magazines, typically, like this XD, operates basically the same thing, the same way. It's also got a retentive plate in there, just like that, just like the Glock has. But all you got to do with this, and I'll have to switch hands to do this, is just depress that down and slide that plate forward. Press it down to unlock it, and then start sliding that plate forward. again, it's going to take me an extra second because I'm not quite as strong as you guys are anymore. I don't have that kind of strength. All right, there it goes. There. See, it's got that plate too, and it's got that stem that locks into here. And that provides that security there. Now this one, when you pull, it probably detach itself. And it did. There's no problem. We'll just push it out. It'll fall out. Right there. Now you'll notice on the double stacked or staggered stacked type magazines, the bottom of the spring is usually going to be wider. The top of it is not going to be as wide. So you know that this goes up and this goes down. Okay. That spring has got an upward slant right here. And your follower should have that same upward slant, just like your magazine. Just all you got to do is compare the two, so you'll know how to put your spring back in correctly. See how everything's lined up? You can obviously see that's not correct. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to demonstrate one method of cleaning this magazine. Basically, all you have is the like the spring and the follower and the body, the inside body of the magazine. Okay. Really, and this is just an old microfiber cloth. Generally, just rubbing it down, just wiping this stuff off is all you need to do. It's all you need to do. The spring is the same way. All you need to do is just wipe it off with a dry microfiber cloth. That's all it takes. Now if you want to get a patch and you want to put a little bit of bore solvent, and bore solvent only, on that patch to clean that follower off a little bit, you can do that. But the second you get that bore solvent on there and get that fouling off, take a microfiber cloth and go back over it and wipe it all down. Wipe any of that bore solvent off of there. You want it completely dry. You don't want any bore solvent on it anywhere at all. Okay. All right. One of the easiest ways to do this, and this is what I recommend most, is just get that, get your microfiber cloth, put it up through there, and just pull it out the other end. Just do that 2-3 times. Generally, that's all it's going to need. That's all you need to do. Okay? You can, if you want to, take a nylon bristle brush and wrap your microfiber cloth around it and get up there and scrub that wall. Those walls, if you want to do that too. There's not a problem doing that. Okay, you can do that. Okay. And really, That is the easiest and best way to clean your magazine right there. Most videos I've seen on this topic seem to do a pretty good job on it. However, none of them tell you what you really need to know, usually because they're afraid of offending some viewer out there. Fortunately, I don't have that fear, so pay attention and take notes. Hang on. Get ready for some butt hurt. Okay. Although in most cases I don't think it's needed, you can use, a drop or two of bore solvent, and only bore solvent, to clean your magazines. Just a drop or two. You don't want to saturate anything. Alright, but then you must immediately wipe all of that bore solvent out and make sure that that magazine is completely dry. Bore solvent evaporates quickly, and it can sometimes leave behind a light film of residue, so it's always best to wipe it off as soon as possible before it evaporates. Alright, listen. You should never use any kind of oil or CLP on any part of your magazine. Oil and CLP does not quickly evaporate like bore solvent does. It either lingers or it migrates, or both. Either way, it will only collect fouling and slow down that follower in the magazine body, which can cause stoppages and will eventually migrate to either the magazine lips, which will then cause stovepipe malfunctions, or onto the cartridges, in which it could seep into the primer. Never use any type of dry lubricant. Most of that stuff contains graphite, which is an abrasive and will eventually build up and slow down that follower. Now, every part of your magazine must remain bone dry in order to function properly. That means no oil, no CLP, no lubricant, dry or otherwise. Just wipe them clean with a cloth. If you use anything at all, use bore solvent and just a little bit of it, and wipe it off as soon as you get it on there. That's all they need. This is very simple, all right? It's not like we're discussing Einstein's theory of relativity or quantum physics here. I know. Somebody out there right now is saying, well, I've been oiling or using CLP on my mags for years without a problem. Yeah, there always seems to be that ain't true attention seeker out there somewhere who thinks that they're the smartest person in the room. Well, listen, that's fine. If you want to take unnecessary risks with your life or your family's life, which only a moron would do, by the way, then just continue to use CLP or oil on your magazines. Now, it may or may not cause a jam or misfire during your defensive use, but isn't it smarter to simply remove that risk by removing your magazine lube method? Alright, now let's reassemble and inspect. As I said, follower, yeah, there. Back of the follower is flat to go with the flat side of the magazine body. The angle, note the angle. Okay. Now we're going to put our retentive plate on there. Now we're going to line up everything and push this floor plate back on there until it snaps. Okay, we'll verify it. Verify that it's that the stem has snapped back into the hole. The compression is good. The lips look good. They're not bent. Nothing's misshapen. Everything looks good. Alright, we're done now. Boys, there's a lot of other videos out there on this topic, and a lot of those videos are pretty good. But you've just watched the correct way to clean your magazines. This is one of those few areas in the firearms related world where you cannot simply do it however you want to and then claim that you did it correctly. Okay? Alright. I hope you got some useful tips and information from this video, because that's always my goal. Thanks for watching. Catch me in the next video when I'm shooting it straight once again. Till then, ciao.